folks. You know, there's things in this world that you're never going to understand. There are companies that have people at a corporate level that you're never going to understand. As you can see, I was actually in the process of making a Lego update video here. I do a Lego video like every couple months because a lot of price movements and actually a lot of the new Lego sets, which are not in this background, that everybody ridiculed me about because I have a new Lego division, kind of a modern, older division, and a vintage division here. And actually, a bunch of news came across the old left testicle, and you guys were asking me, Rudy, you need to make an immediate magic video. Marvel Spider-Man. There is no serialized cards in Spider-Man collector boxes. And everybody wants my opinion. So first, let's discuss this, everybody. So sorry, the background doesn't fit the topic, but you guys have to deal with it. I'm a special Timmy. First, my personal opinion. Why on earth would a company who's going to do their first Marvel set bring it to market and choose to not put a high-end Chase special variant, serialize anything into a product like this? So this is is this the first? Is this the first unit? Is this, wait, hold on. Doctor Who, serialized. Fallout, bobblehead, serialized, okay. Obviously Final Fantasy, serialized. Warhammer was just Commander decks. We didn't really have a set for that. Assassin's Creed, serialized. Oh yeah, Leonardo da Vinci, really cool shit. So wait a minute. All of our universes beyond IPs have really cool hidden chase cards. So, it appears... I will never understand certain things at a corporate level of Wizards of the Coast. The opportunity, like their cost to insert some serialized cards with a couple special art variants of a cheaper card, their cost is so low and negligible to input that into a product that's special, which is the first Marvel full set release they've ever done. Why on earth would a company not seize that level of opportunity? Doesn't even have to be a 1 of 1, 1 of 10. Look at the Chocobos, 1 of 77. It could be a 1 of 25, 1 of 50. It could be a single card, 1 of 500 like they've done with the other universes within sets. Certain things are beyond me. So apparently it's official, I guess, unless they do something to surprise us. I'm being told from distribution and others, there is no serialization in Spider-Man. Now, why they didn't take like the old Spider-Man comic book covers and do like if I was in charge, which obviously Game Piece Army's glad I'm not, I would take like the old Spider-Man comic books and like the first 10 Spider-Man covers of comic books, and like the original comic book would be a 1 of 1. The second Spider-Man issue of appearance would be 2 versions because it's number 2, and I'd put serials 1 of 2, 2 of 2. Like I would do crazy fun things. With the first 10 comic book covers of Spider-Man appearance, I would do something like that. Make it really fun. Or you could do something with obviously the different, the gems, the jewelry, the soul stones and different things. I mean, there's so many things, but they didn't do it. Now that we got past my opinion, I think it's an absolute tragedy and a huge wasted opportunity. Now, maybe Marvel didn't want to do it. Maybe there's a logical explanation besides just pure stupidity, Game Piece Army, and just bad corporate management. Is Cynthia back? She's not back, is she? But she already destroyed Funko Pops. Is she secretly back? Did you guys open any Aether Drift? Were there cigarettes in it? Or did it have like Made in Amazon with Philip Morris? Too soon. So, what does the market think? Not what does Rudy think, what does the market think? Right now, Spider-Man collector boxes were $1,000 on TCG Player and eBay, plus tax, of course. As of the film of this video, Spider-Man collectors are now down to about $830, $840, $850, bouncing around by the day. So we have seen a 15% decline from the $1,000 price point, which was the high, within the last few weeks. So this tells me immediately that the buyers in the market so far are not super thrilled by this okay, let's just be honest, everybody. This computer-generated, suspicious, I know the argument, there's a huge controversy, did Spider-Man have AI art in it? I'm not smart enough to tell the difference between AI and hand-drawn or computer art. There's a lot of controversy with the art in Spider-Man. A lot of people don't like it. It looks it just doesn't have that good vibe to it. It just feels off. And honestly, it looks childish to a lot of people. Who are they marketing to? I don't know. We don't have serialized cards. And, not trying to be negative with you guys, but the sell-through rate is substantially lower than Final Fantasy. So all data right now tells me we are not going to see a release date of $1,000 plus collector box. And I know, I'm sorry. I'm supposed to be pumping and dumping and shilling and my heavy bags and everything, but it has been less than ideal so far. Now, there are some things that Wizards and Spider-Man has going for it. The supply and allocations are lower than Final Fantasy. And that alone, well, if it's 20-30% lower than Final Fantasy, which it appears to be, well, if the sales are 20-30% lower, then I guess it's really not going to do anything to pricing, higher or lower. I do not think, and I know this is going against what I should be doing to pump you guys' stepsister, but I don't believe Spider-Man's going to release and pop to $1,400-$1,500 a collector box like Final Fantasy. I'm going to go ahead and call it. I have enough data, enough information from other stores, enough information from distribution, and the icing on the cake is the art controversy surrounding Spider-Man. No serialized cards is the bear case. The bullish scenario is maybe Wizards knew this, and that's why they did 30% less, supply. Maybe they were aware of this, and that's why they immediately are shifting to more Avatar and Lorwyn and other things. I'm not really sure. There's definitely a lot of sus situations, but all data tells me right now we are not going to see $1,500 Spider-Man boxes within 30 days of release. Now, some of you guys are going to be very happy about that. Some of you guys are going to be upset. Maybe some stores are going to watch this video and be like, oh my god, let's hurry up and dump it on the market. Maybe this video causes it to go lower. I know usually we're supposed to do the pump videos before release to get you guys excited, but this is what's going on. This is the reality of the situation. I still want to be very clear. I do not believe Spider-Man's going to come out and tank and it's all going to collapse and all this stupid stuff, and I do not believe that. I'm telling you right now that it does not have the strength that Final Fantasy and the engineering, the Japanese artists, the absolute stunning art that Final Fantasy had with those surge foils and Tifa and the characters in Cloud. Then you had the variants of the chocobos with the neon ink. Then you had serialized cards. Then you just had a lot of good cards, uniqueness, art, famous artists, serialization. You had a lot going on. Now, for whatever reason, it's like Wizards put all their effort into Final Fantasy, and it feels like they almost half-assed Spider-Man. I'm not really sure what the fuck the deal is with that. But I'm telling you all right now, if you are trying to jump into Spider-Man on TCG Player to pay $830 plus tax, or if you're paying $900 shipped right now for Spider-Man, do I think you're going to lose money in the short term? It is definitely possible that we see a 10-20% dip to the 700s if everybody has a panic sell at release. If that happens, I would highly recommend people buy the dip. Now, the most likely scenario right now is Spider-Man is going to release in a few weeks at the same price it is now. We don't have a spike, we don't have a crash, it's just going to be flat. That is the most likely scenario right now. I would give that about a 50 to 70% chance. And then, of course, the other little 20-30% chance, I think there's a chance that we have a 10-20% drop if the market rejects, or we actually do pop back to 1,000. But I do not see a scenario that this thing's going to pop to 1,500 to 2,000 and pull a Final Fantasy. I'm calling it. I'm putting my balls in the line. If I'm wrong, as always, the internet, you do your thing, but that is just what I'm seeing. The data and the sell-through rate and the disappointment in the art and serialization is enough to put a ceiling that these are not going to have a short-term spike. Now, this does not mean Spider-Man will not be $1,000, $1,500, or $2,000 box in 3, 6, 1 year, 2 years. It does not change anything with long-term. If the fact is they reduced the print run from Final Fantasy, so even with weaker sales, it's going to be able to adjust and balance out quicker, and with a very tight supply, it's going to be very difficult to tank the product unless the entire market bands together and rejects. Again, Rudy's opinion, I will never understand why Wizards chooses certain things they do. Like Edge of Eternity, without serialized cards, honestly, Edge of Eternity doesn't need it. Edge of Eternities is a phenomenal, beautiful space set, whatever. Aether Drift, it definitely needs a serialized card, which it has. Karlov Manor, the set that everybody says Rudy's Karlov Foreclosed Manor, to this day, I think some of the cards are clunky and overly annoyingly complicated, but I still liked Karlov Manor. That's why everybody made fun of me about it and bashed Rudy. I think the Neon Ink, some of the unique cards in the set, and honestly, the very tough to find serialization cards in Karlov, I just think it's a good set, and I think it just came out with using the Clue Murder Mystery. Man, I just don't think it just clicked with the market. It reminds me almost of a sequel to like Streets of Barry Manilow's Copacabana. Streets of Capenna, the market was just not happy with a mafia-styled thing. Now, of course, Old Man Rudy with his 18th, 19th century European artwork and gold frames and old stuff, I thought the Mafia Street of Capenna theme with the gold gilded raised gold cards, and I liked it. You factor in Triumph, some other cool cards. I thought, Streets of Capenna was, to this day, I still like it. So this is just my opinion. So back to the situation. I wanted to make this short video to update everybody. Then I'll go into what's coming up here, and I'll end the video and I'll return to my actual Lego video. But I just want to tell you all, it is disappointing. There's no way around it. Everyone you talk to, besides probably an uneducated game piece army person, everybody besides the uneducated game piece army person is going to be disappointed. Now, game piece army people are going to be like, good, well, maybe no serialized cards will make things cheap for me, and otherwise they're expensive. I'm going to print my own cards and show the man. That's great. Nobody cares about your $3. And that's just where it's at. I'm very curious to see how the market's going to treat the first Universes Beyond set without major serialized cards. I mean, the Lord of the Rings serialization of the original box and the holiday special posters was a powerhouse. The Karlov, which was a garbage set, I still think it's a good set. Sorry, it's not Universe Beyond. But Assassin's Creed, the Fallouts, Doctor Who, I think there is something that's almost necessary and special about these Universes Beyond crossovers, Magic selling its soul to these other companies. You need to have that chase card inside, that chase subset to really, if you're going to raise the price to stores and charge like $300 to a store for a collector box. I mean, when Wildsville Drain came out, I was paying like $175 for a collector box and selling to patrons for $179, $89, $199 for Wildsville Drain collectors. And I know they're $1,200 now. A lot of people made a lot of money. But, just to think the difference from Mixon collectors and Wilds collectors, raising store cost to them with $300 for wholesale really changes the line in the sand. I mean, even if you have a tanking market of Spider-Man, what are we going to do? We went from 1,000 to 850. What are we going to do? Go to 750? 700? I mean, in the grand scheme, it's a great buy the dip opportunity, but it's really not going to impact anything long term. The boxes are purposely designed to be scarce. The prices are designed to be high. And, Spider-Man is pretty much going to rely on strong playable cards and poster and comic book art. And it's going to rely on a lot of things. And it may still deliver on that. There's a lot of people very excited about it. And with a 30% lower supply in collector boxes, it may be enough to calibrate the market even without serialization, even with kind of controversy on the art. I think it's poorly executed by corporate people, but that's where we're at. So I want to do that update on the Spider-Man. Maybe something surprises us. Maybe they hide something. Maybe something changes last minute, and maybe we get a surprise. But that's what I know right now, and that could change any time with Wizards doing a press release. So, hey, maybe that'd be fun. So, moving to the next thing here. I just want to go over a couple small things, which is market conditions and Magic and everything. So, just a couple things to remember, everybody. Patrons, we're a couple weeks away, so just so that and even if you're not a patron, everybody out there, Tarkir play boxes are getting ready to show back up within the next few weeks in the United States. So Tarkier play boxes should be back anytime. I do not know the supply of the reprint print run, but it is coming. I'm hoping for a lot. So that should be in the next 30 days. Going into the Thanksgiving holidays, we do have the Final Fantasy play boxes coming back. And of course, we're still waiting on more Bloomborough, like Wave 3 or 4 of Bloomborough, Wave 3 or 4 of Foundations play. In January, February, we're also supposed to get the reprint of Edge of Eternity play. I know. So, with that being said, friendly reminder, everybody out there, please use extreme caution paying $250 for Final Fantasy play. Please use extreme caution paying $150 for Bloomborough play. Please use caution. These play boxes, they have confirmed they're not going to pull shady stuff on us. They're not going to cut them out of print early. Wizards is reprinting them. They promised us it's coming. The only thing we can hope for is that the supply is a decent amount to keep the market happy, stable, and that thousands of stores around the country can put play boxes in their stores for people to actually play, draft, and enjoy the actual sets of these Magic releases. So we're hoping that the supply is good for that. Now, sidestepping the Magic conversation, the market and the general public in the United States continues to be very on edge under President Trump's policies and tariffs and the world going on. There remains a lot of uneasiness and a lot of jitteriness and everything about the big crash and the ruining of the world and all these things. And of course, we have wars around the world. We have a lot of turmoil, political divide, cultural divide, stuff like that. Remains very front and center inside the world of 2025 on the good old planet Earth. With that understanding, the market continues to not reflect a major crash. I'm not saying this isn't going to change, but as of right now, this is now the beginning of September in 2025. As of September 2025, which is when I'm filming and talking to you, so hopefully this video goes live within a day or so, the markets remain, the equity markets on Wall Street remain very strong. Bitcoin, it's crashed off its highs from 22, it's like 113. Ooh. You know, the gold market and commodity market, very strong. Oil prices stable, gold and silver, very strong. Collectible market, Magic and Pokemon continue to lead the charge. Magic the Gathering, nobody cares about reserve list and vintage. Anything before 2020, Silver Age, Bronze Age, Silver Age is dead, Bronze Age is doing okay. Collector boxes are continuing to go to the moon. Anything with the word Pokemon is worth more than its weight in gold. The cardboard Pokemon world remains the king. Anything Pokemon releases, the Pokemon releases calendar, holiday calendar, it's going to the moon. You can't get them. I got them. Whoop-de-doo. I got like 10 of them. Can't run a sale to patrons. Don't have enough to do anything. And with specialty stamps and holidays and snowflake, they're all going to go up. And God help, a couple years from now when these things are long gone, they're going to be worth a fortune. The Paldean Fates, the new Surging Sparks, Destined Rivals, the newest set in Pokemon. Everything continues incredibly strong. We're getting small reprints on a normal basis between distribution, and all the reprints are marked up 2 to 3 times the amount. And most of the reprints, again, an ETB store cost used to be $30 for the last 8 years for me. These reprints and restocks, I'm paying $60 for an ETB, which I think that's MSRP, right? MSRP in this game. So there's no downside on Pokemon because any restock reprint is being sold and pushed high up to support the market. Hence why Pokemon keeps shifting products and reprints to big boxes to try to soften that ice water. That's it for that. Other news, the market of Weiss Schwarz continues to be absolutely wild, continuing to have more and more Weiss sets thin out the open market. We have tons of sets continuing to disappear. You go on TCG Player, you go on eBay, hit sealed product, pick random different Weiss sets, and they are just getting annihilated. There are supplies of some of these things that are just getting impossible to find. Everything from, I think, even Overlord Nazarax, even the Pickup Girls in Dungeons, even some of the crappy sets. I think like Psychonos, some of the garbage Weiss sets that nobody wanted. They're still cheap, but there's just nothing left on the market. Some of these things don't even have 1 case, 2 cases left on the market. I have no idea where these are going to reprice. I have no idea if a bunch is going to come to market of people holding like me, but it is very fascinating to see. And yes, Azure Lane 2 is going to be a fucking crazy thing. It is coming. The Sword Art Online, the Gun Gale set just came out. Actually, a lot weaker than I thought. People weren't as excited about it as I thought. I guess a supplementary storyline for whatever. It is an extra box on a premium, and yeah, that's interesting. So we'll see what happens with that. But it was also substantially lower. The order book was so much lower. So they printed a lot less. Not many people bought it, but not many people. I don't know what's going to happen with that. The Weiss Girls Cry set, still delayed. Don't know when it's coming. Azure Lane 2. Oh, God. I don't even... There's going to be boobs everywhere, and people are going to fight for it, and the boxes are going to be crazy. It's going to be Nikki 2.0. Now, moving to Flesh and Blood. You guys know somebody stole their stuff, leaked their set. Everybody's pissed. You know, James and LSS is pissed because obviously someone stole their shit. People are still pretty excited about it. I got a lot of messages you guys asking about it. And yeah, I think we're about a week or so away that you guys are going to run my patron sale for the old Super Slam set. And yep, it's going to have cold foil Rudy puzzle pieces. We're going to have you get a whole case of the Super Slam. And that should be coming up in the next 7 days or 10 days. Depends when you watch this video. I got 20% less product than I did on the previous Hunted, and my brain is getting mushy in high seas. So I only have around 800 kits instead of 1,000 to 1,100. So it is going to be a lot lower. So again, patrons will have a choice to buy maybe 1 or 2, but it's probably going to sell it a little quicker because, well, I just have 20% less product. So that's that with that. That's final thing. No update on some of the Magic future sets. Like, I don't know when Bloombro or Foundation Play is coming back. No update on Sorcery with the new Gothic. Supposed to release around Halloween, which is like 45 days. So I think that's probably going to maybe be moved November? Or is it still Halloween? I haven't heard anything. Not really sure what's going on with that. So, yeah. A lot of people are chomping at the bits, but we're waiting. Should get information any day now. Conclusion of the video. Everybody, please, the Rudy wisdom here is going to be careful following all of the news and negativity and things. We are 2 years into this monster bull market of collectibles and everything going on. And by far, this is the strongest market I've ever seen in my entire cardboard life. And I think this is probably the strongest amount of resistance and anger that the market's doing so well. So to rephrase that one more time, this market's stronger than any other bull market I've ever been in the collectible world, including 2021 COVID, GameStop to the moon, and Money Machine go burr. We are on the verge of starting to get some interest rate cuts, which is going to make lending and people leveraging easier and cheaper, which is going to always throw fuel on the spend rate and inflation and economy. I don't foresee things shifting too much. I believe we're going to... I think the next 2026... and I know this is maybe not the most pleasant thing to discuss, I think 2026 is going to be pretty similar to 2025. I don't think we see a major skyrocketing in prices, and I don't think the stock market skyrockets. I don't think we have a big 2008 crash. I think Magic and Pokemon are going to lead the way, just like they did the last 18 months, and I think it's going to be more of the same. And I know that to you, most of you all watching, that's probably not what you want to hear because of how expensive and impossible it is to get Magic collectors and Pokemon, anything. I don't think it changes. We're not going to, and I'm sorry, but going into 2026, there ain't no more reprints of SVO 1, 2, 3, 4. That stuff's done, man. Mr. SVO 2 is going to be $1,000 plus. The other ones are going to be 500s. It's done. I'm sorry, everybody. It is the only thing that's going to stop this market is not Magic and Pokemon. The only thing that's going to cool off and reset this market at this point in time is going to be a macro outside market activity. I don't think anything that Magic and Pokemon can do right now is going to collapse Magic and Pokemon. Even a crappy release. Spiderman could come out, collapse completely, and go viral for being a disaster. I don't think it turns into a bear market. I think the only thing that's going to derail the current situation is we would need a major macroeconomic event worldwide or on the actual economy. Unemployment to double digit, 10-20%, full stock market crash, major war events that cause economic turmoil, $5-10 a gallon gasoline. We're going to need major outside activities to really do damage and actually slow down this train that is Magic and Pokemon. I don't think there's anything that they can do, Magic and Pokemon can do right now, to stop leading the way. And as long as Magic and Pokemon are leading the charge, I believe Flesh and Blood, I believe Weiss, I believe One Piece, I hate to say it, but even like Star Wars and the new Riftbounds, even the new card games, the Godzillas, the Hololives, I think it's going to continue. There's just too much excitement, there's too much money, there's too much hype, and too many people want the stuff. And the problem is, even if we keep marching forward, and by the time we go into 2026 and 2027, all this stuff today, all this stuff, ETBs, ultra premiums for prismatic anything, the pouches, the actual, bundles, the, 151s, the blooming waters, the bundles, and any accessories, the ETBs, which are impossible. All these things are done. You're going into 2026, 27, that's it. Pokemon's not going to be focused on the past. They've got too much of an order book that's slammed. They're trying to get Mega Evolutions 1 and 2 off the ground. They're moving. They don't give a shit about Sword and Shield, Scarlet, Violet. Nobody cares. It's gone. The only people fighting for it are people who want that past, and they're all hot. Everybody wants it. It is what it is. I would like to see that market just stabilize and do nothing, but just people are obsessed with it. I am not that passionate about it. You guys know that. Pokemon is just a business I've been a part of for 10, 20 years now. But for me, it is what it is. I don't have tremendous passion. I mean, laugh all you want, but I'm more excited about, Serialized Chocobo or, some sort of cool Magic set or Lorewyn coming up. Or honestly, I'm kind of more excited about Avatar than I am Spider-Man. And, of course, I'm more excited about Final Fantasy still than I am, Spider-Man. And same thing, I'm actually more excited that Magic gets reprints of the play boxes for Tarkiers and Final Fantasy and, Bloomborough and Foundations and Edge of Eternities, and I'm more excited about that. I think Edge of Eternities is more exciting than Spider-Man. But, I'm old. I'm an old fart. I'm 40, man. What do you guys expect, Wait a minute, I think I'm 41. I'm 41 now. I'm so old, I'm lying about my age. I guess we all had to go there one day, right? So, that's all I have, everybody. Hope you all having a beautiful day out there. I hope our conversations together in the bathrooms and in private, because, you can't let people know you watch Rudy. Come on, Game Piece Army for life. Okay, here. Show other people that you watch Rudy and show them this clip. Game pieces! Everything's cheap! Reprint to the ground! Don't pay more than $0.25. It's just cardboard and ink. All right, use that clip, everybody, when other people walk by. Always show that spot. So, that's all I got today. What a time, right? Can you imagine, even if we had a DeLorean that worked? Can you imagine if we even went back in time? Even a couple years ago in 2022, 2023, and like Scarlet Violet base came out. Could you imagine sitting down with yourself and saying, look, you're not going to believe this, but great Scott, you're not going to believe this. We are going to see the greatest boom in Magic Pokemon history in the next few years. Could you imagine if somebody showed up with Doc Brown in the DeLorean and told you that after COVID in the bear market crash in Magic 30, Magic with Amazon dumps? Could you imagine if I'll be honest, I don't think I'd believe it. Could you imagine if somebody went back and said that? Even if you, see, that's the problem. Even if you could prove time travel, even if you could do it, the problem is, you can't bring a smartphone to the past because there's no towers and no one knows how to use it. The technology's not even there. You can maybe speed technology up, but and even then, who's going to believe you if you tell them about things? Because in 2022, it's even a couple years ago, not even talking 5, 10, 20, 30, 50, 100 years ago, but even a couple years ago, today would be tough to believe, even 3 years ago. Imagine in 2019 saying, hey man, heads up man, 2020, there's going to be a pandemic, the world's going to go crazy, and everyone's going to lose their mind, they're going to shut the world down, and they're going to reopen the world, inflation's going to go crazy, and everything's going to double in price. And then there's going to be a crash because of inflation. And then after that, there's going to be an even bigger bubble. And it's going to go even bigger and higher, and everyone's going to go crazy. Like, imagine somebody, seriously, sit back and imagine right now somebody coming back and telling you that was what's coming. You know how hard that would be to believe? Anyways, all right, I'm going to resume my Lego video. I just want to give you guys an update on the Spider-Man thing. Definitely unraveling in a way we didn't expect. But it's still going to be expensive. Still going to sell out. Game Piece Army going to be mad. Is anybody going to do a buyout? Somebody's got to have, the kahunas and the balls to do $1 million buyout. Somebody's got to do it.